Here we go. Hey y'all, I see you now and can see myself. Just wanted to jump out for just a few minutes. I don't have long because the battery on my phone is probably going to die. But give you a quick garden update. I've had so many people comment saying that they enjoy seeing the daily updates from our garden. And so I said, well, I hadn't done that today, although we did do one this morning about mulch or no mulch. And when I get through, I'll edit that and put a card up here in the top somewhere so you can see that to prove why mulch is the right idea for protecting your soil, not just to hold moisture in, but also to protect it from rain beating down on it and eroding your soil. Got some good feedback on that video this morning. So anyway, I'm out in the garden for just a few minutes. We had a lot of rain last night, but right now there's not a cloud in the sky. It's a beautiful day, and here in a little bit I'm going to be, I'll show you. Here in a little bit I've got to go collect more pine straw so I can finish putting pine straw. Let me show you this. This is good. I wish I'd have came out here this morning. I didn't step in the garden, but when I was showing you the importance of mulch this morning, look how, can you see the upward slope from about where that little piece of green is right there, upward slope to right here? That is erosion runoff from this row that we did not get covered because we ran out of daylight, and yesterday we were at Corey's tennis match that went way hours longer than it should have. And so this row and the rest of this pathway was just at the mercy of the elements last night. But I'm going to go gather enough pine straw to finish covering that. Look, because let me tell you something. This pine straw between the rows business, look at this. I commented to somebody on Facebook. I posted a link to the video and was telling them about it. Y'all, we had tons of rain last night. And I commented to the person on Facebook who'd said they were interested, had been thinking about using pine straw between their rows, is that with all that rain out there last night, I could walk out here in the garden in my Sunday shoes. Now these ain't my Sunday shoes, but you know, I can walk, we can get right in the garden. Now, I don't know what's the deal with my phone battery, but it has gone from 20% to 10% just like that. So very quickly, here's our squash plants are looking great with the mulch. The row of squash, we got butter beans on that row that we've got to come back and recover because, again, we didn't get them covered with mulch or leaves, and so the rain uncovered them. Potato plants are looking amazing. There's my shadow. And I just stepped in the middle of the potato row. I lost my balance. Middle of the squash row. I better fix that before Patty comes home. Y'all don't tell nobody. Come over here and the mustard greens are looking amazing. Y'all, if my phone dies, thanks for joining us. That battery is running down. The mustard greens they've now covered all the little rows in between them, but not quick enough to shade out things like this. So we're gonna have to get in here and do some weeding, but just one time, and then we won't have to do that again. The alderman peas are standing up straight and strong. Look at the stalks on these things. Let's see if I can get over here and get a better. Can you see the thickness of those stalks? That's amazing. That's like Jack and the Beanstalk looking thing. So I guess it's Jack and the Pea Stalk. Looks like Patty hasn't had any more of her plants eaten in this little patch where we had the mysterious disappearing plants where something was eating them, but it was just like one a night. So we can't figure that out because they didn't devour everything. It seemed like they should have. Lettuce looking good. This was all beat down this morning. The arugula still hadn't completely snapped back from the heavy rainfall last night, but it looks a lot better than it did this morning. And it will. It'll continue to straighten out. as the day unfolds, and if it doesn't rain again tonight and tomorrow, it'll look like it never got rained on it. Look how the nasturtiums up against the fence have exploded since the last time you saw them. They're really growing in height and width, huh? Chamomile doesn't, I mean, it still looks great, but it doesn't look like it's getting any bigger, so I don't know about that. And I wish Patty was here. She's gone to pick up Tomas. Yay! We get him for another 3-day weekend. Horseradish looks great. There's some of this stuff Patty and Aunt Rosie planted, and I'm just not quite sure what they are. Sunflowers right over there. The Japanese cucumbers along that back fence are looking wonderful. Jaton, I'm sorry. Patty, you'll have to put that in a comment, please, once the video posts, and I'll ask Patty. She keeps up with all the names. I'm just lucky to know that it's lettuce. The kale is the first half of the kale here is looking good. This half over here is kind of lacking behind. Don't know what that's about. Look at the green onions. Wow. Again, those are green onions that came from Patty's pawpaw, who died at almost 107. So those are some heirloom green onion plants. We've still got some breakfast radishes that weren't ready for the restaurant. We're letting them grow. We may plant some more. Little parsley in there. Spinach, this little bed of spinach is looking great. Big spinach leaves. I think I'm gonna have one of those. I like it raw. These heirloom potatoes looking nice. That's good spinach. Our mustard green carpet back over here also got beat down by the rain, but it'll be fine. There's blue by the fence. Goats in my Polaris. They know I'm fixing to be riding in the Polaris. Hey Gene, sorry I haven't been talking on the chat very much, but I'm trying to run through all this before the battery dies. And I really need Patty here to identify everything that's in this little herb bed, because I just don't know. Really glad that was the first rain. These 3 beds here, hey Kelly from Alabama, these 3 beds here, they're gonna have tomatoes and oh, what did she tell me? Several, I don't remember, but one of them's gonna have tomatoes in it. And it was the first good rain since we covered them with this thick layer of leaves after we weeded them and then covered them with a heavy layer of leaves. Howdy from Texas, Lone Star living. Everything's bigger in Texas, or so I hear. This grapevine on our Daddy Curbs grow arch is looking great. We had 3 grapevines that we planted on this arch. This one looks superb. This one is just now beginning to show signs of life. Blue, you hush. Fussing at the goats. This one, not so much. There is a little piece of life there on it. Let's see if I can point that out to you. A little piece of life right here. So, that may survive as well. That's our fault. We waited too long to put them in the ground. That's totally our bad. And same thing with the blueberry bushes over here. We've got 3 in here. This one, where is it? Right here. Looks fine. There's one here in the middle of the bed that looks like it's a goner, and the one on the far end, can't really see it from here, one on the far end is looking great. So that one's looking good. We've got a muscadine vine planted up on the fence right here on that T-post, and a muscadine vine right here on this T-post. It is also looking good. So I am about out of battery, and hey Dave. So I don't know if I'll have time. Let me jump in here, y'all. I'm sorry for talking so fast, but this phone's gonna die. It's gonna die any second, and I don't want that to happen. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat. Hey Wendy, Thunder Ridge. Hey Tammy, there's a Soap Peddler's Homestead Minimalist. Thanks, I'm glad you do. We've had several that really enjoy, as much as we do, seeing the growth from day to day. It's amazing. Let's see. Yeah, Wendy, that's tough, man. I can't even imagine being under ice and snow still. Okay, Homestead Minimalist, thank you. That explains that. And Patty, listen, Patty probably knows that about the chamomile, that it starts out slow and picks up after a while. The arugula kind of did that. It jumped up out of the ground and then slowed and then suddenly burst. So it was that was pretty interesting. So I'm glad to know that. Thank you. Let's see. How are you going to do the raised bed? Yes, me, myself, and I has asked about how I built those raised beds. And so I was trying to explain that in a YouTube comment and realized it's difficult to explain it in text. And so when the weather permits, me, myself, and I was going to do that probably tomorrow, but it'll probably still be too wet. So it may be next week sometime. But what I'm going to do, we're filming with the GoPro camera. We just let it run while we're working on those rows and planting the rows and building the beds as we move that way. And so eventually I'm going to edit that into one time-lapse video of us building those permanent beds. But at the request of me, myself, and I, because believe it or not, I did it with a tiller and a rake. And made those, I mean, they're shaped like a raised bed. They're flat on top, and I was able to do that with a tiller and a rake, a ruler, and some string. And so what I'm going to do at me, myself, and I's request is I'm going to do a separate video on how to do that and just let you watch me build the next raised bed. But I can't promise a timeline because it depends on the weather. It's too wet to get over there and till right now. All right, let's see. Oh, let's see. Gosh, if I get knocked off here, it's my battery, y'all. I'm not getting mad and jumping off. Sorry, Dolphin Man, I don't know. It must be on your end because I've got good signal here. Hey, Celtic Nana, thank you. Oh no, Miss Soap Peddler's Homestead, goats wiped out the grapevines. Got to start over. That's right, life on the homestead. You know, one of our taglines is Alderman Farms, where life on the farm just got real. And, you know, we show the real life. And that is real life. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of here before my phone dies so I can at least give a proper thank you and a proper goodbye. So thank you guys for your interest and for joining us. And we will see you again on the internet and on YouTube. Be sure and join us Sunday live at 5 p.m. Central, as we are every Sunday. And we've getting to where we're doing more live streams on a daily basis than we do edited videos. I will say hi to Patty Jaton, and you're welcome, Miss Soap Peddler's Homestead. Thanks, Wendy, Sheila. See you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. We love you guys at Alderman Farms.